Hey guys, we're gonna talk about something today that is not the most fun topic. It's calling out a lot of people without really calling them out in this day and age. The topic of this one is, when did it become okay to be fake? And I've felt very strongly about this one for quite some time. I've been told that I'm one of the rare ones that actually genuinely cares and people can talk to, that they don't feel like I'm being fake and they don't feel like I'm judging them because they're having a hard time. And it struck me as sad that this is normal to them. Like, this is completely normal for people to have these two sides. And I haven't always been like this, but I've always tried to be like this, and I've managed to become better at it throughout the years. Yes, Toby. That when someone's talking to me and they have a legit problem, I'm there 100% for them. And talking to so many people, you start finding out that, like, that's rare to them. Like, a lot of people assume that if they're having a shitty day, that they need to put on these happy little smiles and be completely nice and not show that they're having a bad day, and just so that they can not make the other person feel weird or any of it. And it's hard to sit there and listen to people. Toby, not now. It's hard to acknowledge that that's become a normal. Like, it's become normal for people who are having an issue when they're talking to someone, for that other person to just sit there and while they're talking, try to turn it around, try to make it into a, let me fix your problem. I may not be listening to the fact that you're already trying to fix your problem, but let me fix the problem. Let me fix you. And I've had this happen. I've had people tell me that I needed to change my personality because it's too strong and too intimidating and too outspoken, and no one's gonna like that. It's not your place to tell me how I need to change. That's between God and my husband. So, that hurt. With this one, I just want to bring up the fact that when you're talking to someone, actually be in the moment. Don't be planning what you're going to say next. Don't be planning on what you're going to cook for dinner. Don't be focused on your phone if someone's talking to you. I mean, in this day and age, you can't meet anyone that doesn't have a phone and doesn't have Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or any of those things. And it's so hard in this day and age to actually have an honest to goodness talk. And it sucks because, I mean, it takes out the whole personal friendship. Like, you're literally just having a meme friendship, which, I mean, some people that's great for, but other people it's not. And a lot of people I've noticed in the last, like, 2 months, they're having the worst year so far. And we're just into March. And it's sitting there thinking, that's terrible. That we're at the beginning of the year, and they're already saying that this is the worst year that they've had for a while. And no one seemingly is saying, hey, what do you need? Do you need something? I'm here for you. They're just being like, oh, we love you, we're so sorry about that. That's the generic thing. Like, I get that. When you don't know the person that well, easy enough to say that. But when you know the person well enough, it's kind of like, why are you saying that? You need to be over at that person's house helping them. And it's been kind of interesting for me because in the last few months, I've actually been reconnecting with a lot of people that used to not, like, we didn't always, like, click. But miraculously now, I'm one of the few people that they actually like know I'm being genuine. And it's difficult for me because there are times where my squirrel moments I have to focus really hard on the conversation. And that's not unnormal for people. But when you don't focus and they're telling you what they're going through, it's damaging to them for you not to pay attention to be there. And when I say being fake, it's literally the asking how are you doing and not actually meaning you want to know honestly. Because some people, they're not going to give you a happy, shiny response. They're going to be going through crap that they need help on, or they need a holding hand or something. And if you're not willing to actually be there, don't ask the question. Because that's just, especially if that person knows you well enough, they're going to feel like they have to put on this front. And especially those who are going through a very hard time, it's a very, 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 very bad idea to do that. And it's makes them go backwards when talking to people. Instead of actually reaching out for help when they need it, they'll withdraw. I personally have done that. It doesn't work well. And it should be a daily reminder that we need to be more aware of those around us, that our life is hectic enough, but other people may be having a worse day, and you have to find a goodness in it. Like, find it in yourself to sit there and talk to them. And if you can't do that, then fine, but don't try to act like a friend that genuinely cares if you're too busy on social media. I've dealt with this firsthand where I would be going through something, and the person I was talking to about all the hard stuff, they would just be sitting on their phone. And they would say, I'm listening, but it's, I kind of grew up learning that if they're not making eye contact with you, they're not actually listening. And you can hear words, but whether or not you comprehend what the person's telling you all depends on if you're paying attention. Like me, mine is subtle. Mine is, you can see it in my face, but what I could be telling you is not always going to be expressing that. And so it's something I feel like that needs to be brought up. We need to start paying more attention to actually being there in the moment and being friends and caring than having a media festival. Like, you can do that at home. Why waste their time? Why waste yours? And as of late, I've very much been loving it that the friends that I've decided to grow in are not that way. We can sit there for hours on end, and yeah, we could be on our phones some of the time. But when it comes down to the topics that we are having issues with or whatnot, phones down, and most of the time the TV's paused, and we just are focused on what's being talked about at that moment. And that's a very rare thing that I've been finding, because everyone's all about social media and thinking of their response before actually thinking about what you're telling them. And it's always the ones that, if they respond fast, some people, they just are thinking really, really fast. But the majority of the time, it's because they're not actually listening. And I can't stand that, because it's a pretty much, you're being fake. And you're not actually being there. And it's a rough thing to kind of acknowledge, but it's an easy thing to change. You just have to be willing to do it. It's, if you care and you are willing to put in the time, fine. But if you're not, then let it go and give them a hug and move on. But don't play these acts of, I'm your support and I will be there, and then the second they need you, oh, you're busy. It doesn't work like that. And a lot of people are not having as strong friendships because of that. And in this day and age, it's so frustrating that the friendships are based around social media. Like, where's the good old days where you you literally just went out, had your cell phone, just so that if someone needed to contact you to know where you're at or to tell you something, you had it on you, but otherwise you were in the moment. That's the important part. And that's where I'm kind of trying to get this drive home, is be in the moment with the person. Don't be trying to fix them. Don't be trying to think ahead and try to figure out how to solve this for them while they're talking to you. Be there in the moment, because some of the easiest things to help someone with is to be there and to talk to them. And it doesn't even have to be about resolving their issue. It can be just talking to them. And so I think I'm going to leave this one today with just that food for thought. When you're with someone and they're having a hard time, be there in the moment. Talk to them. Listen to them. Listening is a miraculous tool. We wouldn't have ears if we weren't meant to listen. So be there, listen, and ask them what they need. And don't stop asking them what they need until they give you the honest answer, because that's what is important. And it goes for anyone on the opposite end. Like, if you're having an issue and you need help, but you don't know how to get someone to understand it, talk to them. It may take 10 people to finally get it through to people that you need help, but talk, and you'll find that one rare jewel, and it'll work well for you. So I hope this was able to make some people think and or contemplate, are you actually having a true friendship, or is it just all about memes and all about the fun stuff? And I hope you guys have a thoughtful night, and I wish you all the best of luck for the oncoming week. Bye.